Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. This is your first look at the all-new 2020 Lincoln Corsair. All right, so coming to the front end of the all-new Lincoln Corsair, you're going to have your Lincoln signature grille, which is very bold, very expressive. You're going to have that same design language that's going to be carried over from vehicles like the Navigator, the Aviator. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning on this vehicle. And if you move over to the lights, you're going to have dual LED headlights on here. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to create this really nice, crisp look at night. It looks absolutely beautiful. And as you go below that, you're going to have your turn signal integrated within the front bumper area. Then as you come on the hood, you're going to have two bold lines right up here, and it's really going to give a nice cowl to the hood, and it just adds a nice expressive look to the vehicle. But let's go ahead and check out the side profile. First of all, this color is going to be called Ingot Silver. It's a beautiful silver color. It accents all the lines on this vehicle very well. It's got tons of flake in it, and it looks gorgeous. And as we come down here, we're going to have 20-inch 10-spoke wheels. They look very dynamic, and I love this sort of expressive design that it has, where it kind of has a tilting design to it. Looks very good. Then as you move up, you are going to have your Corsair badge right here on the side. I love the way this looks here. It really makes the car look very elegant. And my favorite part about the side profile is the fact that this entire area is going to be blacked out. So I know you guys have probably seen floating roof designs before, but one thing I've noticed is that Lincoln actually went through the trouble of blacking out this front pillar. Most manufacturers forget about this front pillar, and they even blacked out the mirror. So this entire area is going to have a blacked out feel to it. That way it truly gives you that floating roof design. Then as you come to the side, you are going to have what Lincoln refers to as their S-curve design. So what that's going to do is it's going to create this back and forth flow feel. It's going to really mimic the light in the room, especially with this strong line that's going to flow all the way to the back of the vehicle. Let's go ahead and check out the rear side of the car. Cool. All right, so coming along to the back side of the Lincoln Corsair, my favorite design cue is the fact that you have this clamshell design right here. So what that basically does, it allows the back end of the car to wrap around like this. And then I love how from that angle that you guys are seeing it from, it gives the car a very exotic look. And then you have this single LED that's going to go all the way and just continue all the way down the side of the car. And then right below that, you have a sunburst pattern basically, and that's going to create this sun ray effect right underneath the continuous LED. All right, so getting inside the Lincoln Corsair, here is your key. So first of all, in the back, you are going to have your Lincoln symbol. It's got some nice chrome. It's a very familiar key. And then on top, you're going to have your unlock, your lock, your remote start, your trunk release, and then your panic button right down there. Obviously, you can use the key to get into the Corsair, or you can use the touch-sensitive areas. You put your thumb on top, that's going to lock the car, and then there's a touchpad right behind the door handle. You put your hand there, and that's going to unlock it. All right, so coming inside the door of the Lincoln Corsair. Now, first of all, you have this beautiful leather here, and basically it's going to be called Beyond Blue. It's a beautiful color. It has white accents, stitching going right there down the side of the door right here. Then as you come up, you have more soft touch materials up top. You are going to have this chrome accent that's basically going to go underneath your speakers, and it's cool because your door handle is actually integrated within that. Right above that, you have 24-way adjustable seats. So on top of having incredible amounts of positioning, you also have 5 massage settings with 3 different intensity levels, which is awesome. Then above that, you're going to have your 3 driver profiles. So unlike most vehicles which just do seat settings on 1, 2, and 3, this will adjust over 80 different settings for you. So for example, if I went out, had my drive, then my wife, who's 5 feet tall, she gets in, everything can be perfectly set up on her number, so that way her drive can be as perfect as it can be. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the interior. All right, so once you are inside the interior of the Lincoln Corsair, it is beautiful in here. It looks absolutely gorgeous. You have tons of chrome work, bright work, everything looks fantastic. It really lightens up the cabin, and it feels extremely luxurious in here. Definitely doesn't feel like it'd be out of place in the Navigator, the Aviator, for sure. One thing I do like about the steering wheel is you've got these interesting buttons that actually map themselves according to what you're doing. It looks very cool. Right behind the steering wheel, you have your 8-speed automatic, so you are going to have paddle shifters for that. Of course, automatic wipers, automatic lights. Then you have your digital cluster right behind here. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And then as you come up, you're going to have a heads-up display. You have your Revel audio system. It's going to have 13 speakers, so it has an immersive sound. If you love music, I absolutely love music, so that is always going to be a great plus. Coming down, you have your head unit here. touchscreen, very good, easy to work. I love how it's easy to reach. It's not too far. It's not out of the way. You also have Apple CarPlay. You have Lincoln Plus Alexa. You have Waze. You're going to have Android Auto. You're going to have basically everything to make your driving experience that much more enjoyable. You even have Wi-Fi on here. You can connect up to 10 devices. So especially for people my age, younger generation, I love being connected. I love tons of features, especially tech. So it's really cool that you have that much stuff on here. You have your piano shifters here. So drive, neutral, reverse, park, all right there. I love the way that looks. You also are going to have this floating center console. Cup holders, electronic parking brake. Then as I move up to this armrest, first of all, it's very soft. I can rest my arm on it. I love how it flows in with this center console right here. You lift that up, it is going to have a wireless phone charger in here. So if your phone is compatible, you put it in there, it's gonna charge your phone wirelessly. I do like how it's sort of off to the side. It's not flat like most vehicles do it. Then as you come up, you have a frameless mirror. You're going to have touch sensitive lights right up here. Of course, LEDs. It is just an overall really good interior. You have Lincoln Copilot. It's going to be things like forward collision warning, blind spot, reverse camera. You're going to have adaptive cruise. So basically everything you need to make your drive as good as it can be. But that's pretty much going to wrap up the front seat. It's very impressive. It's extremely beautiful. So let's hop in the back seat and see the room. All right, so sitting in the back of the Lincoln Corsair. So first of all, sitting behind myself, I'm 6 feet tall. Here is my knee room. Now I do like how you have two indents here in the back of the seat. So it really gives me just that extra bit of room. But if you need even more room, the coolest part is that these seats will slide forwards and backwards 6 total inches each way. So I can pull this bar underneath, go back even a little bit further, and at that point, I seriously have about 5.5, almost 6 inches of knee room. Very impressive. My feet slide underneath very easily, so you can get very comfortable. Also, the seats do recline, so if I recline the seats back, this is me in probably the most comfortable position you'll ever find in this size of vehicle. So that's very impressive. Obviously, you can fold the seats all the way forward if you want to put more luggage in the back, and it really gives you a good balance of leg room and trunk space. So I do enjoy that. Now, of course, you still have the same leather trim seats back here. You're gonna have heated seats back here. You're gonna have vents. You are going to have 2 USB ports right down there. And if you fold down the armrest, you're going to have nice soft padded armrests. You have 2 cup holders right in there. Now, the middle hump is very low. So what that means is this is a true 5-passenger vehicle. You don't have to straddle this massive hump. So you can actually fit a third person here in the middle easily without them being uncomfortable. Now, because you have the panoramic roof, it gives you a great overhead view if you're sitting in the back. I have plenty of headroom. Even being 6 feet tall with my big hair, I still have about an inch above me, which is nice. But for the most part, it's a very impressive rear seat, especially when it comes to legroom and overall space. Let's go ahead and check out the trunk space. All right, so once you're inside the back of the Corsair, you guys can see, first of all, I have plenty of room to get in and out. I'm 6 feet tall, so hitting my head is not an issue on this vehicle. Now, one thing is you do have a 12-volt back here. You're also going to have 2 buttons to fold down your rear seats. Basically makes loading things way easier. You don't have to go into the side doors, fold down the seats. You're going to have an LED light back here. And then, of course, storage space is great. You can fit 4 full-size suitcases back here. You also have a little cubby area off to the right side. Then if you lift up the floor, you're going to have a spare tire under here as well as cubby spaces to put extra things in as well. That's pretty much going to wrap up the back end of the Corsair. Let's go ahead and see the specs under the hood. All right, so under the hood of the Lincoln Corsair, you're going to have 2 available engine options. You're going to have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that's going to be targeted to make around 250 horsepower. Then you can upgrade to a 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, and that's going to make a targeted 280 horsepower. So once again, these are targeted numbers. We don't have exact fuel economy specs, but for the most part, I'm very excited to drive the Corsair. I can't wait to get it in my possession and just take it for a spin. I think wrapping up with the video though, some of my favorite features of the Corsair definitely going to be the interior. It was an absolute knockout, especially with the older siblings like the Navigator, the Aviator. This definitely falls in line with the rest of the lineup. It doesn't feel like it was shortened at all. So I really like how Lincoln just went all out, even though this isn't like the top dog vehicle. So that's very impressive to see. Once again, I love the floating roof design. I think this is one of the best iterations of that I've seen. And then the tail lights on this vehicle are probably my favorite things about this Corsair. All right, so last thing to talk about is Lincoln's pickup and delivery service. So basically what that's gonna be is, let's say if you're at your office, need your oil changed, get on your app, you're going to schedule them to come out. They'll basically come out to your job, pick up your car, give you a replacement, That way you can drive that around, and it really takes convenience to a whole new level. So that's one of the benefits of obviously going with Lincoln. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my full drive review of the Corsair.